Hey everybody, Tim Larkin. This is part two of the Women's Self-Defense Seminar that we are going through right now. Now, in part one, we laid the foundation. I told you these were women that all of a sudden in the middle of our seminar, we got to grabs, holds, and chokes. They were doing fine right before then. But all these women are victims of violence, victims of either sexual assault or some sort of a violence that came to them. And as soon as we got into grabs, holds, and chokes, they froze. So we did a breakout session with one of my instructors who went through just with them, step by step, walking them through how to go through the training. And I want you to, again, we've been focusing on how we calmly set them up, how we focused on mechanics. We didn't do anything crazy. We didn't sit there and try to scare them, be realistic, or any of that kind of BS that you see out there all the time. What we did was we laid a really good foundation, as the instructor did in the last video, and now you're going to see them applying that information, asking questions, and methodically going through. The end result of this was we were able to take them back into the seminar with everybody else, and they were able to go at a much more dynamic pace and a much harder pace. But they needed this methodology that we're using right now. Because the question I get from folks like you all the time is, hey, you either know somebody, a daughter, a wife, a loved one that's had sexual assault or been attacked, and they're really nervous and they're afraid to do self-defense. If you have the right training approach, you can get people through that, get them past that to the point to where they now understand it was just knowledge that they didn't have. And now you can give them that knowledge and they feel much better about their ability to protect themselves in the future. So here's part two.
You're here. For whatever reason, you're here. You're being able to fight for your life right now without risking it. You're risking nothing. This is just about learning. So take your left arm and just push it upwards. Okay. Pull it back, reset. Take your right arm and push it upwards. Good. Take your left arm and pull your elbow down towards your hip. Feel how it balance shifts. So pull your right elbow down. Good. All right, so here we are. Take your left arm and just push your left arm up. Good. Feel what happens, yeah? It's very important. Take your right arm and push that up. Feel what happens. Cool. Let's take our left arm, pull that left elbow down towards your hip. Good. Take your right elbow, pull it down towards your hip. Nice. Again, just feel that subtle shift, right? It's very minor, but in the scope of everything that it is that we're about to do, it's enormous, right? Pull your heels up to just below. There you go. We're going to go to the left this time. So push both of your hands up to the left as you buck your hips left. Feel the tip. And once the tip happens, take a turn. Yep, nice. Keep going. Good. Make it real. Nice. Let's do it again. So this time we're going to go up to the right. Pull your heels up. Going to come up to the right. As soon as you push both of your arms up to the right, you're going to buck your hips in that same direction. Go. As soon as he tips, get an injury. And another injury. You're not done until you're on your feet. Good. Good. It's small steps. So if it's, here I am, this is step one, or this is step one, or this is step one, right? Step two, right? And realizing that all you need is just this, right? Just that much to get a hand out or to just barely take his balance. And as long as you're thinking constant state of attack, you will, whatever opportunity or whatever presents itself, whatever problem presents itself, you'll be able to take advantage of the opportunity that you present for you based on this understanding. Does that make sense? Don't ever let yourself, if you can help it, don't watch it happen. Just like all weekend, what we've been saying is get in the habit of not watching someone pick something up, right? That's why we made you take your second turn with somebody laying face down. That's just the site profile you see, right? Don't ask yourself, well, why or what. The context has applied itself, and it always will. You're cleared hot to do whatever it is that you need to do to survive the situation. Just do it. But for educational purposes, all right. So he's pinned. Okay, nice. This is a bummer. All it took was that much, and it's not because I'm strong. I only weigh 160 pounds. I'm not a big guy, and I'm not a super strong guy.
And I'm 220.
All it took was that much. All you have to do is rock the base just over its center, and you've got it. Did that answer your question? Yeah? Okay, cool. All we can do is discuss what we can control. And what we can control, to the best of our ability, is how we think and how we move. That's it, right? Like I said before, the context will apply itself, and it's going to apply itself in ways that you might never imagine. Hurl yourself into it.
So on your stomach, the same principles apply as far as the arm movement, assuming they
Correct.
have arms, or now you're lifting buttocks.
Okay, so, well, right, so for that, and again, if you find yourselves painting scenarios, it's not that it's not okay to have questions, have as many questions as you have, but if you find your mind wandering and, well, what if, definitely what if, right? Always bring it back to the principles, right? Just the principles, and not the principles based on those guys from TFT. Whatever it is that you have done and felt this weekend that you recognized as very powerful and very real, as in gravity, as in anatomy, right? Physics and the way that it applies negatively to physiology, that's what you should use to counter. I have the worst overactive imagination in the world. I really do. But when it comes to stuff like this, go back to what you know, because that's actually what you will revert to whenever that context applies. Okay? So same thing. It's still a four-legged base. So you're right, like this would be some strange reverse crunch, right? And fighting is what's going to do everything for him. But again, if we can use what we know this way, now notice, as he goes this way, even if for a moment there is a shift, however small, there is still a shift that I can feel. It's just like everything wants to roll in this direction. So now I'm beginning to feel a free hand, right? I'm feeling another hand. So here we are now, problem not solved, right? Because remember, the problem is actually me. You're the problem. You're the problem. You've just intelligently worked yourself into a place of advantage. So if I had struggled and tried to undo that which had already been done, I tire. Right? All I needed was this, and I felt him. I mean, it was so subtle it might not have even showed up, right? But you can feel, and if anybody would like to try it, we can totally do that. But what you're going to feel is you're just going to feel this minor shift, and that shift is his center of balance. And once you're there, his weight is now falling, albeit small perhaps, his weight is falling in whatever direction you have exploited. And that's when you make your move. Yeah? Any other questions?
All Bruce had to do there was roll. That's all I felt him doing was rolling. I'm giving him nothing. I'm not resisting, I'm letting him work my weight. And all he did was roll.
But it rolled into an injury. Because nothing has changed until you actually get the injury. I'm simply manipulating balance just for long enough to get to an injury. Very different than fighting, though. Right? Being held up against a wall.
Okay, we're going to stop there. And part 3 will handle, people up against a wall and how they did that. Now, what I want you to notice is this is not about, a step-by-step, this is how you do X, Y, Z. I see a lot of those videos out there. what I really want to get across to everybody is anybody can learn self-protection if you know how to talk with them. If you understand what they're going through. These women literally were frozen prior to this. He's got them moving now. He's calmly explaining. He's not being threatening. And he's answering their questions, but he's also making sure that they actually get something done. And to me, that's the most important thing, because I hear oftentimes, this one can't do that or that one can't do that. No, that's not true at all. It's just, how do you convey the information? And it's really, really important. And what was amazing, again, I'll reiterate this again. These women, after this breakout session, went back into the regular seminar and performed fantastically, aggressively, and effectively. But they needed this time where they could just absorb it at their pace, giving their questions, going over their concerns before we could get them back in with the rest of the class. That's the beauty of it. Now listen, folks, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Please share this information with a friend. Again, getting this information out is always difficult right now, and I really appreciate it when you share this knowledge. Any questions or comments, please make them, and look forward to part 3 coming up next.